Hey chiropractors, we're ready for another modern chiropractic marketing show with Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing strategies, content marketing, direct response marketing, and business development with some of the leading experts in the industry.
Hey docs, welcome to another episode of the Modern Chiropractic Marketing Show. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today we'll have a solo episode, and we're going to talk about my 2021 positive focus and then what you can do to try to get your mind right as we round the corner and finish up 2021 and start to prepare for 2022. The positive focus is something that I learned from Strategic Coach years ago, and I've been implementing it each year, sometimes quarterly or sometimes more often if it's a hard year like 2020 was. So I'm going to go through what that is, and I'm going to give you mine. And I sat down yesterday actually and wrote this out. So I recommend this time of year to do that. Okay. But before we dive into that, I want to let you know of a event. One of the things that I'm excited about for our practice moving into 2022 is we're going to be hosting a lot more workshops, clinically based workshops with different experts and different certifications at our office, and really turn our office here in Boca Raton, Florida, a kind of a destination for some education clinically. And my team is going to help with Josh Satterley for the SFMA Level 1 certification. That's going to be January 22nd and 23rd. Down here in our office. It's going to be a great time to come. Perfect weather in January. Yeah. Shockingly, it'll probably be about 75 degrees for you in January if you come down here. Once in a blue moon, we get down into the 40s. Hopefully it's not that weekend for you. But all you need to do is go to functionalmovement.com and you'll see the courses tab, and then you'll find it right there where you can register for SFMA Level 1. And that will be with Josh Satterley, and Dr. Chris Gavea is helping to run that. So just register there. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to Dr. Gavea at healthfitchiro.com, and I'll put that in the show notes. And it's going to be great. Josh will be here that weekend. I'm actually having our first weekend for the Modern Chiropractic Marketing Mastermind, so I won't be able to attend in person. But I think Josh is going to come out and have a couple drinks with us on Saturday night with the mastermind group. So should be a fun weekend down here in Boca Raton, Florida. That is for SFMA. Check it out. All right, let's do the positive focus. There's actually a document that Strategic Coach has, but you can do this on paper. And all you need to do is 4 columns. And 1 is the achievement, 2 is the reason why, 3 is further progress, and the 4th column is first action. And I'll just give you mine, and then you can kind of start thinking about what's been positive for you. But before I do that, I think this is important to do because no matter what the year is, there's going to be challenges, right? And if we focus on those challenges, our mindset is off, right? But if we focus on the things that were positive, then we can really get in the right mind frame to grow. I know certain years are just so hard. I've had them. We've all had them. Probably after 2020, everybody's had a hard year. Even if you did okay in business, it just was challenging. But even in years like 2020, there's things to find that were positive for sure, right? And when you do this, I want you to think about it from both a personal life and professional life standpoint. And so let me dive right in, okay? So for me, I did 5. You can do more, you can do less, but for the sake of this episode, I did 5. Number 1 is we got pregnant with baby 2. And so that was exciting for us. We were planning that. It happened for us rather quickly, and we were very grateful for that. The reason why is we were desiring to have 2 children about 2 years apart. And so that's why the achievement is a positive focus for us, right? That's what the reason why column is, just to get clear on why was this a positive. Obviously, having a baby, if you're trying to, is always a positive thing in your life. The further progress is that the baby is due in late February 2022, so that's the further progress. And then the first action is buy all the stuff that we need for the baby room. And to tie in a little bit of financial learning lesson. I talk a lot about the sinking funds that Christine Odell talks about. For us, I've got a high deductible insurance plan of like $7,000 deductible. And of course, we're going through some of that now in 2021 with the doctor's visits, but then it's going to renew January 1st. And the baby will be born in February. So I'm sure I'll have a full $7,000 deductible I'll have to pay for the baby, plus all the, baby room stuff and cribs and all the things that we're going to need. Fortunately, we're having another boy, so we're saving some money on hand-me-downs. But, I kind of just figure it's going to cost $12,000 for this baby. So just put money away in for that and be prepared for it. So that was the first action for me, was just to develop a sinking fund and put the money in there, and we did. And so that way I don't have to worry about it. And so think about those things going into 2022. As far as sinking fund, maybe not having a baby. Second is we took great vacations this year. Vacations are always a big part of my life. And then since Laura and I have been together for 5 years, our life. And so it's something that is important to us. We take very healthy vacations, and I try to really check out. 2020, we didn't really take any vacations for obvious reasons. It was really for us the combination of the baby and the pandemic, but we got back at it this year. We had a great time in the Carolinas and Savannah, Georgia. We did nice 11 days of completely checked out and had a good time. We most recently, a couple weekends ago, went to St. Pete Beach for a baby moon, where we had our son with my in-laws, and it was just her and I for a weekend, which was great. And we took a couple other nice weekend trips, which just were fantastic. So we really enjoyed that. The reason why is what I mentioned earlier, is we didn't take any 2020 vacations, and vacations are a big part of our family experience. And further progress is we're actually going to sit down. I do a lot of planning in December, but we're going to sit down and plan out our 2022 vacations. Not only the big one that we'll take for a couple weeks, but also a few weekend ones that we'll do. And my first action is to sit down with Laura and figure that out. Third achievement is the Modern Chiropractic Marketing Group really grew this year. The reason why it grew is that we were able to bring on Kurt Kippenberger as a new coach for MCM Mastery and being able to take on clients. And so that's been awesome. And he started with some clients and it's going great. We also launched the Modern Chiropractic Marketing Mastermind successfully, which I mentioned in the introduction there, where this January we'll be doing the first weekend in Delray Beach, Florida, which is the city adjacent to Boca Raton, Florida, which is the same weekend as the SFMA. So we launched that successfully this year. We've got 15 members that are ready to go. Got some awesome members really excited about it. And so our further progress is to obviously have a successful 2022 mastermind. All right, docs, here is a new opportunity for you from Darcy Sullivan of Propel. She is our SEO specialist in helping out many chiropractors with their search engine optimization and making sure Google is finding you and getting you new patients. It's amazing how many new patients chiropractors can get and are getting when they do the SEO right and a few other things. And Darcy is offering a free SEO workshop just for chiropractors, and you can sign up for that at bit.ly/propelmcm. That is bit.ly/propelmcm, Modern Chiropractic Marketing, right? And so check out that link, and we're going to have you go over 5 SEO secrets to owning the first page of Google without buying ads. And Darcy's going to give that free workshop, 1 hour, to really help grow your practice and start churning new patients from the ever mighty Google, which is still king in the online marketing. So check that out at bit.ly/propelmcm for the 1 hour free workshop. One of the things that I learned again from Dan Sullivan, a strategic coach, was a phrase he has is make it up and make it real. And a lot of times you just got to make it up and then you got to make it real. And so I made up the Florida Mastermind and all the details of it. And then you got to make it real. And part one of making it real was actually getting enough people to make it viable, which we did. And then the second thing is to obviously make it a great experience for the members. And so we got to do that. as further progress. Another further progress is fill Kurt's client list. He's got a certain number he can handle, and we'd like to fill that up. That will be perfect. Our first action is to really, from right now until I would say modern chiropractic marketing growth, I think the first action I'm going to take that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the first two things I mentioned as far as bringing on Kurt and in the mastermind, but I mentioned in the Facebook group, which is a little bit of a rebrand of the podcast, which will come. It's not going to be a different audience. I'm going to still have an audience of evidence-based chiropractors, even though a lot of non-chiropractors are listening to the show. That's great. I think you can do a great job of listening to this and bridging the gap between what I'm talking about for the evidence-based chiropractor and your own profession. But we're going to keep the audience the same. But we're going to, since the podcast really has grown and it takes on marketing and business and leadership, communication, finances, all the things that we would wrap into that. I'm going to just tweak the name a little bit and have a little kind of tag on the bottom that will be marketing, business, and growth. And so I will be working on that as a first action. Okay. All right, number 4 was Health Fit Chiropractic growth. So that's my private practice. We had some great growth this year. I can honestly say the reason why is we have the best team I've had since owning my own practice for 11 years. We've added Kayla at the front desk, who's just been the best. Can't say enough good things about her. And I can't say enough good things about having a great front desk person. It's just amazing what it does. You've heard probably, if you listen to this podcast, we've added Jesse Cease to the team as a chiropractor, and he's been a great addition already out of the gates. And then obviously Dr. Chris is just, I mentioned him earlier in the intro, Dr. Chris Gavea. He has grown exponentially, clinically, professionally, in all the ways. And he's had an exciting situation where he's was working with a patient that was referred to him, and it just was a complicated case. And it's actually gotten, it's going to be a poster at the ACRAC next year. So he'll be going out for that, which is really awesome. And that was really cool to see him doing that and growing. And so, yeah, Dr. Gavea has been invited to ACRAC because he had a patient referred to him on the topic of conservative management of pudendal neuralgia. And he treated that patient successfully. It's a very complicated one. And he worked through some of the protocols that was recommended to him by the other doctor that referred him, and they have written it up and got accepted to ACRAC, which is just a huge professional accomplishment for him. So I think that's just a great growth opportunity for him and for the practice. It's just awesome to see. And then, like I mentioned as well, we're going to start becoming a hosting site for a lot of different workshops. We got a lot of different ideas. We're going to probably host 4 to 6 per year here in Boca, so we hope you will join us for that. All right. Some of the further progress is now that we've got this great team and I'm excited about it, we need to make 2022 our best year yet, and I have no doubts we will do that. And I've made mention to it before. I'm going to be stepping out of patient care in the summer of 2022 as well, so that is further progress. And then the first action is we have our yearly team meeting scheduled in a couple weeks, mid-December. I highly recommend you schedule 2 to 3 hours at least, depending on your team size. Could be even longer. Could be a half day. Bring in lunch, but where you really plan out your 2022. And so check out the podcast I have coming up in a few weeks on that. But get that on the books, okay? Actually, not a few weeks, a couple weeks from now. But get that on the books and have a great yearly team meeting. Lastly is I joined the 10X Ambition Strategic Coach, right? The next level. I've been a strategic coach since 2013. This has always been a goal of mine to actually be in the workshop with Dan Sullivan teaching and being in a group of very high achievers. Just really excited to do that. My first actual workshop. If you're listening to this, the day it's released, it'll be a week from that. So December 10th is, December 10th is the first one, which is exciting. The reason why, it's just always been a goal to be able to qualify, honestly, for taking this next step in there. They do have strict requirements, and so I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be in the room with these individuals and learning from Dan Sullivan. And, I have a kind of big, hairy, audacious goal of someday being a coach for Strategic Coach. I would love to do that. I've let them know that. Who knows if it'll ever happen. But one of the requirements is that you do have to be in the 10X ambition among some other ones. And the requirements are pretty difficult to achieve. And so part of why I set this goal, and maybe this is something you can apply in your life for something that seems out of reach, is that even if I don't ever become an associate coach for Strategic Coach, if I can work towards being qualified to do it, I know that will benefit my professional and personal life immensely by gaining those skills. So using that as kind of my guiding light to get to that and be eligible to be a coach for Strategic Coach would provide a ton of byproducts for me in my own personal and professional development. So that's a big part of that. And, further progress is how can I optimize the weekends that I'm in Chicago for these, right? Like, I don't want to just go in and out of town and be there. I want to set up dinners with some of the members there. I think there's 40 or 45 in my group. I want to really take advantage of it. They give us a golden ticket too for this, so you can go to the day before for one of the regular workshops. So I'll probably start going to back-to-back days. Like, I really want to take advantage of the weekend in Chicago and get as much out of it as I can. And then lastly, first action is just attend the first session next week and dive right into it. So I'm excited for that. And that is my 2021 positive focus. I would love for you to do one, and I would love for you to even post it in the Facebook group. Maybe one strong one for you that you're really excited that you achieved in 2021, and let's make 2022 even better.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Modern Chiropractic Marketing Show. Before you leave, make sure you check out our website. We've got blogs and podcasts and all kinds of great info at www.modernchiropracticmarketing.com. We also have a closed Facebook group of the same name where a lot of like-minded chiropractors are workshopping ideas and making sure that we have this continual advancement of marketing, business, mindset, and just growth of your practice. So check us out, modernchiropracticmarketing.com, and the Facebook group of the same name.